Who the fuck is this dude?
A woman freaked out on an American Airlines flight over the weekend, and since we now live in a culture that encourages people to film people in distress rather than to help them, the poor lady has gone viral.
What? Yeah, no, I mean, I don't disagree. I don't completely disagree with him that we live in a society that does that. Now, what the fuck did you want us to do to help her? Oh, she's right. That's the demon. Let's go kick its ass. Like, the fuck did you want? What did you want people to do? Not point out this crazy bitch?
The f off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the f off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two f, but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
So what happened? Was the woman having a psychotic break?
Probably.
Did she have a few too many drinks at the airport bar?
Probably.
Was her seatmate not real?
Doubt it.
I don't know. It seems unlikely, but maybe Matt's right and she saw an alien. Or maybe, since Matt is not right, maybe she saw a demon. I don't know. I have very little interest in observing a woman's apparent meltdown on an airplane, but I have a great interest in observing culture, and I can't help but notice, in this case, how different the reaction is from the last big viral moment that our whole culture embraced. A couple of months ago, a vagrant, violent criminal with a rap sheet a mile long, a man who had recently beaten up elderly men and women, walked onto a New York City subway train and threatened to kill people. And our culture makers, our media, our political establishment, they treated that man as the most innocent, downtrodden, sympathetic.
What the fuck is he talking about? What is this guy talking about? He fucking made a video talking about. He made a video talking about woman sees demon on a plane. He fucking briefly touches on it, and now he's just going on this big fucking rant about our social culture and talking about some dude that beat up old people. And what the fuck? Now, I understand, like, you're trying to talk about something that clearly matters to you, but why did you even talk about this woman sees demon on plane thing? If you're like, because in the beginning, you mentioned, like, no one wanted to, like, help. How are they gonna help her? They were all trying to follow the guidelines and rules of the plane so that way they could travel across the country or whatever to get to wherever they had to go. They're not going to just get up and throw a fucking fake person off the plane if it's even a fake person at all. This fucking crazy bitch just stood up and started having a fucking meltdown. Of course they fucking started recording it because it was fucking funny. The fuck?
Break dancer ever to moonwalk onto the F train. An oppressed black man struck down by the scourge of white supremacy, that ubiquitous deadly scourge.
What are you talking about?
This past weekend, a white woman had an emotional outburst.
Bro, you just said something I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Holy shit, who is this guy? I had no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He brings up some random fucking situation, doesn't show any, like, clips, doesn't show anything about that situation, doesn't give any details. He just says, oh, the fucking, everyone treated this guy that beat up old people like a hero, and he fucking, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
And walked off an airplane without threatening anyone. And she is now a universal object of mockery and derision. A dumb, stupid.
That's his problem? I don't know. I don't.
Karen, who should probably be arrested and put on some meds. What matters about the airline freakout video is not whether that lady thought her seatmate was a real person or not. More significant about the video is whether the viewers think the lady freaking out is a real person herself. Right now, go to genucel.com/Knowles. Our friends over at...
He's wearing something different now. What the fuck, dude? What is this guy talking about? Now suddenly, at the end of this entire fucking rant, where he veered off into some fucking side thing about how, oh, well, everyone supported and helped this criminal that beat up old people and attacked people on a fucking train, or I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And, well, they helped and supported this guy, but here they're publicly humiliating this idiot who fucking made a complete fool out of herself because she was being goofy and screaming about demons or not people who aren't real. And then you leave at the end of that whole rant with, it's not that the other person that she said wasn't real, it's that she isn't real. Like, bro, what? What? This guy's crazy. What the fuck?
Probably saw something. She's clearly afraid of something, and because I recognize that there is spiritual warfare in the world, I thought, I don't know, maybe she saw something that at least signified or symbolized something.
I just don't understand this dude's perspective right here about talking about spiritual warfare in the world. You guys have this big thing where you separate spiritual stuff and secular things, like world, tangible reality, and spiritual soul stuff. They're fucking overlapped. They're not different. They're the fucking same thing. Aristotle talked about how the form of the matter, the shape of the matter, is the shape of the soul.
Something that might be real and genuinely scary. And then my associate producer, young Jacob today, or was it Mr. Davies? One of the two of them points out that there's a follow-up video by a guy who says he's the one who freaked the woman out. And the guy turns out to be a face-tattooed Freemason who called himself Lucifer.
I guess he couldn't even remember which one of his producers told him. But let's watch this.
On the plane with the reptilians. But thanks to her delaying the flight, I just got home, so now it's my opportunity to tell my side of the story as the guy in the hoodie. So we're attempting to fly out of Dallas, Fort Worth, and then basically this woman, she sits next to me and she's clearly been drinking. I'm minding my own business, and sure enough, she sees my hoodie that has this Freemason logo on it.
Put a pause right there. I'm just minding my own business. This, Ben Shapiro.
Bro, I have to pause my own videos. he says, put a pause on this. Put a pause on this. No, is it about to talk about Ben Shapiro? Dude, is this guy psychotic? Is this guy a reptilian? Is he real?
Every observation he's ever made in his life, his best one, is the observation about face tattoo syndrome, which is someone tattoos their whole face. They make a huge spectacle of themselves in a way that is really spooky and grotesque, and then they just wait for you to notice it.
This guy just doesn't. I mean, okay, what you just said was so incredibly subjective. You just straight up said it was spooky and grotesque to get face tattoos. That's just your opinion. Yeah, no, this dude just completely started talking about how he just doesn't like face tattoos. And he says, oh, they just sit there and wait for you to notice them. Like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean sit there and wait for you to notice them? Are they like waiting for you to acknowledge them because you're like afraid to look at them? Like, are you just not respecting them to give them like genuine common courtesy by maybe eye contact, or like are you just, I don't know, man. It just, this guy, I was trying to watch more videos about this crazy plane lady, but here we go. This dude's just fucking. And you know what? If he calls himself Lucifer in this video, then who cares? You already got the whole world believing that the dude was like not real or a demon. So why wouldn't he just hop onto the bandwagon and be like, yep, I'm Lucifer, just for fucking TikTok clout, you know?
And then they get angry when you notice it. See, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? Oh, I don't know, the attention you demanded. That's what I'm offering you, because you've tattooed your face in a way that is menacing and spooky, and you've got all these occult symbols all over you. And then you get angry at me for noticing the thing that you were begging me to notice. Keep going.
And on top of that, she noticed my ring, so she started to ask questions. Nothing dramatic, just asked me, do I know what these symbols mean? Why am I wearing it? What's the purpose? Yada, yada, yada. And long story short, I basically just say, hey, I'm a Freemason. I even briefly explained how I educate about Freemasonry here on TikTok. Next thing I know, she basically starts to grill me about low-level Freemason and that it's all Satanism and that it's ruled by reptilians and blah, blah, blah. So I simply put my hood up and I started to ignore her and basically just mind my own business. She starts getting louder and louder, and then basically she's like, you know that they worship Lucifer at the top, right? So I looked at her dead in her eyes and I said, I am Lucifer. I heard one individual laugh behind me, so I figured somebody got a kick out of it at least.
Clearly, he was being sarcastic. He was clearly just trying to fuck with her. That's what he said, at least. Well, people are starting to try and say that this dude isn't the dude in the on the plane. But like, of course they would say that. Unless they have any kind of evidence, then why would they not say that? I mean, they don't. I don't think they have any evidence. I mean, it might be the same plane. I don't think it is. Look how much red is around the seats. Look at the top. What do you mean? Look at his eyes. There's nothing wrong with his eyes. And yeah, that's not the same guy, but I don't think that's the same plane either. Every single seat in this plane here, it's got red all around the top of these like little cushions. But in this one particularly, it only has red at the very like top of the cushion. Literally, that's what I was trying to point out. The green hoodie dude is a completely different guy.
She starts running up and down the aisles, freaking out, saying I'm a reptilian, and then all this other stuff. She's going to get off the plane, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't show all the footage. It just says that she's trying to get off the plane because of, you know, I'm not going to say it here on TikTok. I don't want to get banned. But then also talking about how, like, I'm secretly also trying to take over the world. So I looked back at the guy that was basically chuckling before, and I winked at him. So I basically whispered something under my breath saying that, Freemasons don't care to rule the world. We rule the universe. And I looked back at the guy that was laughing before and just kind of winked at him because he started laughing again. Well, I didn't think that she could hear me, but evidently she did, and it's actually
a big joke, ha ha ha.
Even further, and then they delayed
Wink,
the flight and so on and so forth. So moral of the story, don't believe everything you hear on the internet. And Freemasons don't care to rule the world when we rule the universe.
So, this was a twist that not a lot of people expected. The woman, especially if we're assuming she had a few drinks at the airport bar, pretty much totally vindicated, right? You put yourself in her shoes, and you're sitting there next to a face tatted up guy who's got occult symbolism all over his body, who says that he's Lucifer and controls the universe. I think she's pretty vindicated and justified. Now, you might say, well, he's just...
You're on crack. Bro, she's not vindicated and justified at all. It's just because she had some drinks at the fucking airport, and she sat next to a guy with face tattoos who she was uncomfortable around, and she was fucking basically criticizing for being that way. She started poking and prodding at him. She started harassing him. Him turning to her and jokingly saying, I'm Lucifer, is funny. Don't sit there and say she's justified for freaking out and literally having a huge schizophrenic or psychosis fucking freak out about how the dude's not real because she can't ascertain what sarcasm is. You're fucking dumb. What the fuck did I just watch? What the fuck? Guys, I had no idea that this dude ever existed, and just discovering his show right now is the biggest mindfuck to me, that someone can actually be this detached from reality. That someone can, with 1 point whatever fucking million subscribers, can actually be saying shit like this and it not get like torn apart. Like, how the fuck does this guy exist? I don't know. That's incredible to me.
Complete.